A major shockwave swept through the MotoGP paddock ahead of the Austrian round when Franco Morbidelli made a shocking revelation that stunned the public and even Marc Márquez himself. Initially focused on race preparations, the atmosphere suddenly turned tense as all eyes turned to these two big names. Will Morbidelli's revelation change the course of the competition? Let's discuss. In the world of MotoGP, the Ducati Desmosedici GP25 is known as an unrivaled monster on the straights, but is often difficult to tame in the corners. These extreme characteristics have forced many riders to change their riding style completely. In order to conquer it, for some, this bike is a nightmare requiring extraordinary courage. However, for Marc Márquez, the challenge has become a magnificent stage to showcase his legendary talent and racing instincts. Franco Morbidelli, a former student of Valentino Rossi and Marquez's former rival, admitted to being surprised and admiring how Marquez controls the notoriously wild motorcycle as if he were born to ride it. Marquez makes the impossible look easy, Morbidelli said in an exclusive interview. He can force the bike to turn perfectly, even on the most technical circuits, where the slightest mistake can cost valuable time. Morbidelli admitted that he often studies Marquez's technique through race footage, especially when Marquez takes on the tricky corners at Brno or Sessenering. Most riders would ease off to maintain stability in those moments, but Marquez increases the pressure, attacks all out, and exits the corner at full speed. Even more impressive, all of this was accomplished after the 8-time world champion recovered from a long-term injury that threatened his future in the sport. Many thought his golden era was over, but Marquez proved that he wasn't just back, he was back with an even more lethal version of himself. Morbidelli emphasized that the Ducati is known for its brutality and the fact that it demands perfect handling. However, in Marquez's hands, that savagery has become an unmatched weapon. Now, the GP25's strength is not just its straight-line speed. Marquez has made it deadly in every corner. This further solidifies Marquez's reputation as one of the riders with the best technique and racing intelligence in MotoGP history. Marquez's influence is not only evident in the premier class, it is also reflected in the younger generation. Former WorldSBK world champion Neil Hodgson said that the emergence of Máximo Martínez Quiles in Moto3 reminds him of a young Marquez. The 17-year-old from Madrid impressed with 4 consecutive podium finishes in the first half of the 2025 season, including a resounding victory at Silverstone, the same circuit where Marquez took his first MotoGP victory, according to Hodgson. Quiles is under the same management as Marquez, Monlau Repsol. And that's no coincidence. Quiles possesses controlled aggression, quick adaptation, and a winning mentality. What sets him apart, according to Hodgson, is his maturity on the track. Given his consistent performance, many predict that Quiles will move up to Moto2 within the next 2 seasons, paving the way for a MotoGP championship like his idol Marc Márquez. Jorge Lorenzo, a MotoGP legend and former rival of Marc Márquez, also spoke highly of Quiles. On the Race podcast, Lorenzo unhesitatingly called Marquez one of the greatest riders of all time. Alongside the legendary Valentino Rossi, Marc remains dominant even at 32 years old. While many riders are declining, he's found new momentum with Ducati, Lorenzo said admiringly. Marquez's record of 8 wins in the 2025 season is clear proof that age is just a number. After a difficult period marked by long-term injuries and several arm surgeries that nearly ended his career, Marquez made a remarkable comeback, returning stronger, more mature, and hungrier than ever. This feat is rare, if not impossible, at the highest level of the sport. His comeback is not just a success story, it's proof that a true legend never truly dies. Meanwhile, Jorge Martin used the summer break to undergo a massive physical transformation. Inspired by Marc Márquez's intensive program in the 2019 season, Martin decided to overhaul his fitness approach completely. After missing 10 of the 12 races due to a preseason injury that depleted his physical condition, Martin focused on losing weight and rebuilding his stamina. This included a brutal training regimen of 6-hour, non-stop mountain bike races in the Andorran mountains. Seeing how Marc maximized the Ducati's potential with a lighter body made me realize the importance of physical efficiency at the highest level, Martin said. These changes immediately paid off at the Czech Grand Prix. he appeared much more stable, controlling the Aprilia RSGP, a notoriously finicky and difficult bike, especially in the early stages of races. Furthermore, Martin analyzed every detail of Marquez's racing lines through video footage, looking for ways to absorb the champion's tricks. In fact, during one practice session, Martin nearly crashed while trying to imitate Marquez's aggressive, risk-taking, corner-attacking style. Aprilia, recognizing the rider's dedication, responded swiftly with comprehensive support. The technical team refined the bike's setup to align with Martin's new aggressive style, preparing to compete in the second half of the season. Ducati course technical director Gigi Dall'Igna also shared his thoughts on having Francesco Bagnaia and Marc Márquez on the same team. Although he acknowledged that it created tension in the garage, he believes that this dynamic actually fuels the team's development. For Dall'Igna, the friction between the two top riders is not a problem, but an opportunity to push everyone involved to their limits. With the two best riders of this generation, we create a competitive environment that fosters innovation and forces everyone to perform at the highest level. He asserted with conviction. Dall'Igna revealed that one of the season's biggest breakthroughs, latest aerodynamic innovation, was born from intense, sometimes heated, technical discussions between Bagnaia and Marquez. They both demanded maximum performance from the bike, refusing to settle for simply being fast enough. According to him, this is clear evidence that internal rivalry, if managed wisely, can be an incredibly valuable asset. Ducati's primary goals have never shifted: defending the constructors' title, strengthening its dominance in MotoGP, and proving that the Desmosedici GP25 is the gold standard for speed, precision, and innovation on the racetracker bike feared by rivals and aspired to by all rival teams. Marc Márquez's dominance in the 2025 MotoGP season is more than just a comeback from an injury that nearly ended his career. It's a rewriting of the standards of greatness in motorcycle racing, a new chapter proving that true greatness never fades with time or physical trials. At Saint-Gerard, Marquez is not only fast, but also adaptable and intelligent. He is a central figure who elevates the entire team to new heights. Sincere recognition from Franco Morbidelli, praise from former world champion Neil Hodgson, adulation from Jorge Lorenzo, and profound inspiration from Jorge Martin prove that Marquez's influence extends throughout the paddock. Even future generations, such as David Alonso and José Antonio Rueda Quiles, have looked to him as a role model to guide their future. Meanwhile, Ducati continues to benefit from his innovation, strategy, and competitive spirit, creating an almost unwavering ecosystem of victory. Does Marquez's combination of experience, technique, and influence make him a legend who surpasses Rossi and Lorenzo? Share your thoughts below.